Welcome back to another Toyota video. In today's video, I'm going to be installing these all-pro rock slider weld-on onto my 1992 Toyota pickup X-Cab. This was purchased from Trail Gear. Trail Gear, they have their own set of sliders where you can build these the legs to each dimensions. Those are a little bit more cheaper as far as price goes. And then the one by All Pro, they have the legs already mounted on, and it's a direct fitment to the 89 to 95 pickup X-Cab. You just butt them up to the frame and weld them on. The nice thing about the All Pro is that they also have a little kick out. So at the end of the truck, there's a little kick out, and that's really nice. It's a little nice feature, and it just looks a little more aesthetically better. So I ordered this during the Halloween special sale, so I think they were having like a 15% off or something along that line. So just about $500 shipped to my place. I had it shipped to Carlisle and Tacoma, Washington, and then they freight forwarded it to Alaska, which really saved me money. Tonight, we're gonna go ahead and get them prepped up, paint, and then I'll show you what we do. So the rock slider, they come the way they are right now, and then they also do come with the gussets. There's 4 legs on each sliders, and they have the gussets here. These are the gussets that just kind of goes on like that. So they also didn't, this sliders, they don't include they don't come with the frame gusset, which is like a little square piece that you weld onto the frame first, and then you weld the rock slider 2 onto it, which in my opinion, I think that kind of makes it more beefier and stronger. So I'm gonna build those myself. I have some scrap metal about 1/4 inch thick, and we're gonna cut them into rectangular shape, about maybe 4.5 inch to 5 inch, and then we'll weld that onto the frame. And then we'll weld these sliders onto that piece, and then we'll weld the gusset. So tonight's video, we're just gonna go ahead and prep up the frame slider, and then tomorrow we'll get it installed. For prepped up, keeping it simple, I have some brake cleaner. We're gonna spray it down and clean it because it is a bit oily. When they ship it, they put a little bit of oil on it to prevent it from rust. So we're gonna use brake clean, cloth, wipe it down, get it ready. And then we're gonna use primer. The paint that I like to use is the Rust-Oleum Professional. This is their professional line. This is a great primer, works great. And then as far as paint goes, we're gonna use the Rust-Oleum Professional. This is just a gloss black. You can go with any color you want, but for me, I like to use the Rust-Oleum Professional. I feel like they just hold up really good and they work good. They're cheap, affordable, easy to find at all your big box store. Whenever this needs a touch up, I can just grab a can and spray it up. So let's go ahead and start prepping it and get it ready. I'm not gonna spray paint the leg section. I'm gonna keep about this much bare metal because we're gonna weld this to the frame anyways. So about from here on, we need to paint everything, and then we'll touch it up once we get it installed. Here's a close-up of the slider gusset, 89 through 95 X-Cab, pretty much generic. Really nice. Looks like they're water jet, about 3/16 or maybe 1/4 inch thick. You got 8 of those for 8 legs. Brake clean, Rust-Oleum primer, and gloss black, color of choice, up to you. Here's a look at the rock sliders. Really nice. Really happy with Trail Gear stuff. They always make good stuff. Trail Gear All Pro. Welds are really nice. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 little support brace. All the legs right here, they look like they're the same size. This one, and this one. This is the front of the vehicle, and the front of the vehicle is usually longer. And then you can also see it's at a slight angle because the Toyota frame, it goes straight and then it curves in towards the front of the truck. We have installed this set of slider on my buddy's truck before, X-Cab, so I know it will fit. If you're not 100% sure, you might want to take it and line it up to your vehicle and make sure it's just double check and see that it's gonna line up or such. You can see here, this one is the driver's side. Also has their logo, AP, All Pro. Nicely welded onto there. Much better than my wheels. Really beautiful. Like I said, it's a bit oily, so we'll go ahead and clean it up. You can see the legs. Legs are same size, and then you got one that's a bit longer over here. Really nice product. Definitely can't beat this. If you live in Alaska, it's much cheaper to go this way versus going to the metal store, buying all this, bending it yourself, doing all that. This right here just saves you so much time, and in my opinion, it's much cheaper. If I had a fabrication shop build me this would probably cost way more than 600 bucks, just because of time and labor, and then material. I like to also spray a little bit of brake cleaner on the cloth that I'm using and pretty much just wipe it down, guys. Like I said with my other projects, like the front trail gear bumper, rear bumper, we are not going on 100% perfection, guys. This isn't a semi truck, garage queen, or a show truck. This thing isn't gonna get abused, but it will get used. Make sure you have some ventilation too, brake cleaner, and paint in general. If I was outside and it was nice and sunny, I'll probably just go hammer with the brake cleaner. Since I'm indoor right now, I'm going very slow and gentle. I'm gonna have to go ahead and open my garage here shortly. Whew. Go ahead and do this to the other slider, and then we'll go ahead and move on to our primer. Just by touching it, I can tell that there's less oil now. It's very rough now, very bare metal. We don't need to go ahead and scratch it up or anything like that. We're gonna go right into it after cleaning it like this. I ran out of the gray primer, so this is what they had at the store. This is the red primer. I never used this before, but it doesn't really matter on the color. We'll go ahead and finish the rest of it with the red primer. Alright guys, I'm done doing the first side. I'm gonna let it cure for about 10-15 minutes. We'll flip it over, do the rest, and then we should be ready for the first coat of black. You guys saw me spray painted the legs thoroughly. I told you guys I was gonna leave half of it bare metal, but it's actually much easier just to spray paint all of it, and then later on we'll just grind off whatever we need to weld. So that's the reason why you guys saw me went full ham on it. I'm done with the primer. We're gonna let it cure for about 30 minutes so that it's all cure, and then we'll go ahead and start doing our first layer of black. I knew I should have done this earlier, but before you start spray painting, especially if you're doing it in your garage, lay something down. I knew I should have laid something down, but I didn't really care. But now I'm gonna lay something down. So went ahead and got a piece of tarp. I'm gonna lay it down in my garage so that the paint doesn't fall off onto the ground here. It's all primer for my ground right now. I'm really loving this red primer. I think this is my new primer that I'm gonna start using instead of that gray primer. It just looks more better. Good morning. It is day 2 of installing these All Pro rock slider. Early this morning I went ahead and put on 2 more coats of black, and right now they're just curing. It's pretty much dry already. It's not fully cured yet, but it's dry. So what we need to do next is build the scab plates. These are the plates that we're gonna put on top or weld on the frame before we weld the rock slider directly to the frame. If you want to do it that way, you can. But I feel like this is a stronger. So I think I might go ahead and just scrap this whole idea of using these scrub plates. I got it mocked up right here, guys. Just mocked up and just seeing how it's gonna mount. And 3 of the legs are good. The first leg is good. Third leg is good. But the fourth leg has to go in between here. And it's just gonna be a really tight fit. You guys see that? It's a tight fit to put a scrub plate in there. So I think I'm just gonna weld the sliders directly to the frame, because if I don't put one in here, it's gonna offset this leg a little bit, in my opinion. So I think we're gonna go ahead and do that. In the past, I weld my sliders directly to the frame, and it has not affected it. So I don't see why there should be a problem. But I think that's the game plan, guys. We're gonna go ahead and scrap the whole idea of using scrap plates and just weld it directly to the frame and put on the gusset. So let me go ahead and take this off, grind out the legs, grind the legs off, and then grind out the frame. And then before we do any welding, guys, make sure you disconnect the battery. So we'll go ahead and disconnect the negative battery. I got all the legs grinded off from the paint. Like I said earlier, we went ahead and painted the whole rest of it. So grinded it off. Also grind out the spot where the gusset's gonna go. I'm gonna go ahead and grind the frame real quick, and we'll go ahead and slap on this frame slider. Hard part is just getting it level, and then once we get it level, it's all good from there. This is all touch-up paint. We'll go ahead and touch it up later. All right, folks, I got it butt up to the frame here. We're gonna go ahead and start doing some welding. It positioned pretty good, looks level, and looks pretty good to me. So let's go for it. There's no turning back now. We're just doing flux core 035 Pro MIG 140. We're gonna go ahead and spray some anti-splatter. Just gonna go ahead and tack up the legs first. Alright, so the outer two legs are tacked up, but this one has about maybe a couple of millimeters of space. All right, guys, I'm almost done welding. I have the first and second leg that I need to finish and also gusset. Third one is done. The fourth one is the hardest because it's really tight in that little corner pocket. So my welds weren't so pretty, but as far as strength and durability, I'm pretty confident it's good. But I'm gonna go ahead and finish the rest, and then hopefully it's gonna get dark here soon, but I'm gonna try to tackle the passenger side slider. Here is the final product. All Pro rock sliders, weld on, 89 through 95 X cab. This is my 92 3/4 swap. They look amazing, guys. I ended up not using those scap plates like I said earlier. I weld them directly to the frame with the gusset. Everything went smooth except for the last leg at the end over here. It's between those little two plates on the frame, so it was really hard to get to. I couldn't get it fully welded. And then on the passenger side, I didn't bother welding the gusset. I think in the future, whenever I remove my bed, I'll go ahead and weld that gusset plate because I'll be able to access it more because it's really tight in there. But check that out, nice and even. It has a little nice degree. It's not completely flat, it's not too level, just perfect where you can still stand on them. Has a little nice kick out. The end of it comes up to this piece right here almost, and then the end of this don't really come up to the pinch wheel, but right a little bit over this first bolt that holds the fender. Nice and pretty. Went ahead and put some quick paint on it. These things are amazing. I love it. I love the kick out. The kick out is as wide as my tire, so if I ever run into a tree or anything like that, it's just gonna push my vehicle over, and that's the purpose of a kick out. I wish it was a bit more out more so that I can step on it more, but this is perfect. I can still step on it right here. You can see that. Plenty of room for me to get off my truck, stand on it, look around, clean the top of my roof. Looks amazing. I love it. Really satisfied with it. If you guys are new to my truck, I have the trail gear, rear and front bumper. Front bumper is the low profile. And now I have the All Pro rock slider. And man, does it look amazing. Tire setup is the 285 75/16 Baja Boss. Less than 100 miles on them, I think. Apologize for the nighttime video. It's a bit dark right now, but you can see the passenger side is nice and even too. Really loving it, guys. Looks amazing. Highly recommend them. You definitely save time by going with the All Pro because, like I said, the legs are already welded. You don't have to cut the legs or anything like that. You can just mount it up, and it's pretty close as far as the positioning. Didn't have to cut the legs or grind anything like that. You can butt it up, and then you can just weld it right on there. The trail gear sliders, the universal one that you weld yourself with the legs, those are nice because if you wanted to do like customized size on how far you want it out and how far you want in, you can buy those. But if you want something easy, nice looking, ready to go, the All Pro was a good selection to go with, and that's the reason why I went with it. The most time consuming was just the prep. You can see the kick out looks really nice. My 92 3/4 swap is it's pretty much finished, guys. This is the last expensive part to the puzzle. The only thing I want to do now is do a front brake job overhaul. I want to do a front brake job overhaul, repack my wheel bearings, and then put brand new CV axle in there just for the heck of it. The one I have in there now is still good. Oh, and then also I want to re-gear My truck is currently on stock 456 gear, and I do have a set of 488 gears, and I want to re-gear because right now with the 285 and all the extra weight now, it's a bit sluggish. Definitely takes a while to get up to 65 miles an hour, but I think I'll say that for the summertime. But there it is, folks. All Pro rock slider. Looks amazing. Has their logo right there. Far away, looks great. She is one beautiful truck. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you guys next time. Much love. Take it easy.